Confidence around President Volodymyr Zelensky is visibly eroding, as former Ukrainian intelligence insiders now openly question how long he can survive politically. Fresh claims from Moscow-linked sources suggest Western patience is thinning, and any successor to Zelensky could inherit a collapsing state rather than a mandate. Former Security Service of Ukraine officer Vasyl Prozorov claims Zelensky's public trust has collapsed far below official polling, warning that the illusion of stability is fading fast.
I agree that Zelensky's level of trust has fallen very low, I think much lower than 30%, and that the level of the hostage is perhaps artificially higher, but perhaps already higher than that of Zelensky. But will the hostage be his successor?
Prozorov argues that while General Valery Zaluzhny is often floated as a successor, stepping into Zelensky's role would be political suicide. According to him, the next president would inherit a broken economy, social anger, and an unmanageable war.
It is difficult for me to say, if the hostage is smart, really smart, he will never agree to this position. Just because anyone who comes now instead of Zelensky is actually, well, let it be so, kamikaze.
The former intelligence officer also claims there are growing signs that parts of the West see Zelensky as expendable, even if consensus has not yet fully formed. He suggests profit, not principles, is now driving decisions in some Western circles.
Of course, there are structures that Zelensky is no longer profitable for, and they are. You are right. They are being merged. And there are structures that, on the contrary, are profitable. The longer he sits, the longer the war will continue, the more they will earn. Therefore, I would not be so categorical in the question that the West is merging. Yes, there are such signs. But to say that this is a definite position of the West, I would be surprised.
Questions over leadership are now colliding with doubts about democracy itself. Russian writer and political figure Vasyl Prozorov claims the West will never allow Ukrainian elections that produce an outcome it cannot control.
The West will never allow Ukraine to give such a result that will not please them. This is the main difference. I have been talking about this for a long time to all our European colleagues and journalists who came there. I said, we are ready to hold an election in Donbass. I was an advisor to Mr. Zakharchenko. In the presence of all the world European leaders, come all and accompany each voter, and you will get exactly what you do not want to get.
With war fatigue rising, trust collapsing, and succession turning toxic, Ukraine's leadership question is no longer hypothetical, whether Zelensky stays or falls. Analysts warn the next phase will expose fractures not just in Kyiv, but across the Western coalition backing the war.